What's up, everybody? Paul here from the Hoops Crew with a brand new episode of the Paul James Show. Shadu, I am right on time. Thank you very much. Let's get into things tonight and keen to chat to all of you about obviously a very exciting but also nerve-wracking matchup here that we're facing between us and the Hawks. We've got a whole bunch of news items we're going to discuss, but of course, there's not a huge amount for us to recap. Normally, our review episode would look at the games that Geelong have just played in the past weekend. Of course, we didn't play one. So we're a little bit quiet in that regard. We're going to cast an eye forward to the upcoming match between the Cats and the Hawks on Friday night. Ben will be hosting the Paul James Show on Thursday, so he'll be able to get really granular once we start to get some teams selected. Right now, we can speculate a little bit. And of course, as Jackie highlights, the girls won on the weekend, and we can definitely highlight that. It was a fantastic effort. And if only they kicked a little bit straighter, it would have been an absolute monstering of the Tigers on the weekend. But you do love to see that. Really, really impressed. As Thomas says, nerves are getting a little bit high. I'm feeling anxious. Scotty's in here to stir some shit up, saying no game, but the Mighty Cat is still making headlines for the wrong reasons. It's been a strange old week in that regard. And that kind of continues even today. So that'll be one of the first things that we discuss tonight. But before we do get into that, I want to actually hone in a little bit on the story that's getting around at the moment. And I want to basically just share a tweet that I put out a couple of hours ago. What is it now? Yeah, about 2 hours. Close enough to 2 hours ago now. That I'll just quickly project here on the screen. And I want to make sure I'm crystal clear, just in case anyone watching right now is Trevor 22205085505 or Stand Over Me or this piece of shit. I just want to be really, really clear. So this is Lauren Wood, who's she's done a lot from the Herald Sun. She's done a lot of the reporting on this whole Chris Scott situation that's going on that we'll talk about more shortly. That I nuffed Scotty and Bailey Smith for the other day, or today, I guess, or yesterday. I don't know. I don't even know when it went live anymore. But if you are the piece of shit or are one of multiple pieces of shit who feel like it's appropriate to, make comments, like this, like, don't you dare come near any Geelong games, players or fans, or you regret it. Declared war, we'll finish it. Lauren Wood is a sexist prick. Like, if this is you, properly get fucked. Like, we're 3 minutes into the show. I don't know if that's going to get us demonetized super quickly, but to anyone who carries on in that way, please fuck off. And if you happen to be part of this community, you are not welcome here. You don't, as I say in my tweet here, you don't have to agree with what Lauren said. You don't have to like the way it's been reported, or anyone else, by the way. You don't have to like the way what they're saying. You don't have to believe it's true. You don't have to respect the person in terms of their job. But a bare minimum level of respect is to treat them nicely. You don't have to be an obnoxious piece of shit. And each and every one of these people here that Lauren has highlighted are obnoxious pieces of shit. As Kiri says, don't be like Trevor. Scotty, you're taking the piss, and I do enjoy a little bit of fun here, but how'd they clock 3 of my 10 burners in one tweet? Please just don't be this person. If you are part of this community, as I highlighted in there, if you're a Hoops Crew content consumer and you behave in this way, you're not welcome here. Fuck off. But let's now move away from that and get back to the story itself. We'll get into the story itself, the news itself. Scotty says this is a love speech community. You don't have to be, and I know, Scotty, again, you're having a bit of fun with it. You don't have to, sunshine and rainbows and that sort of shit. People can be critical. I've got no problem with criticism. I put my Enough of the Week video out, and I was pretty critical of Scotty and Bailey Smith through this thing. And I know that there was some that didn't agree with it. And like Lucas, for example, was one person who didn't agree with it. But you know how he responded? And Lucas is a very emotional person at times. We've seen this. We've seen this time and time again on this show, on Post Game Live, and a whole bunch of different places. But his response was, "This wasn't it, Paul," or something along those lines. Like, that's it. It was just a simple, mate, I reckon you're off base. Now, to be fair, Lucas, I think you're incorrect in this one. But, like, you can have this dialogue. You can get well soon, Lucas, as Scotty says. He has been unwell. Just You don't have to agree, but you don't have to be a fuckwit. And that's where we're at. And Lucas, you're a fantastic example of exactly how to go about it from your comments the other night. And if everyone else can take a leaf out of his book in that respect, we'll be far better off. But in every other respect, don't be like Lucas. He has bad football takes, lots of them. All right, let's shift the focus. We'll get through some of the news stories, which does include this one. We'll kind of touch on that first. We'll get through some of the other news stories that are out there, and then we'll shift into a very early preview of the Cats and the Hawks match. So when it comes to this story that we're just discussing, the Chris Scott one, basically what has come out is that apparently there was an impaired person that was part of the media contingent that was there, perhaps wasn't supposed to be there or got invited kind of low key on the side, or there was some sort of confusion around it. And that's what triggered the Chris Scott frustration, anger, outburst, whatever people want to call it. Of course, we've got no evidence of exactly what he said or how he said it. We just know that there was some sort of aggression directed towards an AFL person. As far as I'm concerned, unlike the Bailey Smith one, we don't really know exactly how all of this played out. We just know that something went on and someone was upset by it. So I don't want to get too carried away because without evidence, I don't want to cast too many stones. But either way, we can all be better in this scenario. The people commenting on it, Scotty and Baz in the first place, but we still don't know a huge amount. I know that some people are just trying to lynch Scotty because this person had some sort of... Jackie says, Paul, you made me agree with Luke's on a topic. There's a first for everything. I'm bringing people together. You can tell it's starting to get warmer. I'm starting to get my moths and other little bugs and shit-eating insects flying in here. So, yeah, like... we just don't know enough to really cast stones. But apparently there was someone who had some sort of, and I can't remember, there was some sort of impairment. Someone chat, please refresh me. Lynch Scotty, my God. Do what it takes. He's a Carlton supporter. We don't need him here. Yeah, so I don't know. There's not enough information. Apparently, maybe this person had been impaired somehow. I think that's just purely a coincidence. I just think he took issue with the fact that there was someone who was unaccounted for. And then it looks worse as a result. But of course, and this is where my cynicism towards a lot of modern media comes in, I think this is being reported on because it's going to generate frustration. It's going to generate clicks. It's going to generate some anger. And it did. And then it triggered anger the other way. And more people click on the Herald Sun or whatever other websites and media outlets are reporting on it. So let's just move on. But Shadu clarifies that Scotty apparently took issue with the carer, according to some outlets. The journalist from SEN was legally blind and had a carer with him, and that's the thing. So anyway, and thank you, Fraser, for kind of jumping in there. You beat everyone to it. I mean, look, I don't think we take too much seriously that Dan Gorridge posts because he's very much there for entertainment value and wouldn't have had all the information as well. He's just going to purely comment on what's there and you can have a bit of fun with it and kind of exaggerate a few things. I got no issues with it. Like, it was a weird one. The whole thing is a weird one, but let's all kind of move on from it because there's so much that we don't know. Let's cast an eye forward to some of the other stories here the weekend. Tickets. I hope some of you managed to get tickets today to the Cats and the Hawks game because that game is sold out already. Tickets for MCC went live at 9 a.m. for those buying visitors tickets or trying to reserve seats. Club members followed at 10 a.m. and then the general public after that, and everything is just absolutely gone already. So I hope, and please chat, let me know. Hey, Brendan says George is featured in social media photos this week. He's got to be a chance. Roaming managed to get some tickets. Jackie says, let's all be better. And when I say all, I'm looking at you media. Again, we've got evidence here of the people reaching out to Lauren Wood that also suggest no, all is all and everyone, but I do follow what you mean. Roaming got his tickets behind the cheer squad. Fantastic. I will be there. I think, Roaming, I saw you ask the question before. I will be there. My dad returns to the country from traveling around America and Canada in the last couple of weeks, he returns that morning. I'm going to be heading into the footy with him that afternoon. So he's going to be absolutely wrecked. Maybe I can pry some petrol money out of him. But yeah, I'll be heading in. It'll be good. Thomas has managed to secure his tickets. And again, if you've managed to get yourself some tickets to the game, let me know. Jackie says, do MCC have to buy tickets or do you just line up? So the way that one works is that there is the ability to buy visitors tickets. There was one per person. So that would allow you to get yourself and then obviously one guest or friend or family member or whatever it happens to be. You could buy those. Those got exhausted. You could then reserve seats. Those have been exhausted. And so from there, but again, like you could get in, it's just reserving a spot. So a normal home and away game, I think it's like $5 or $10 to reserve a specific seat, but your ticket is already secured. And then basically a bit like actually, and it wasn't as big of a problem for the Geelong and Brisbane game, but there's a whole bunch of like unreserved seats. And that's where, to your question about the queuing, that's where that comes into it. So the gates, I'd imagine, I haven't checked the times, but I'd imagine they'll open at about 5 o'clock, which is what happened for Geelong and Brisbane. In that case, I arrived at about 4:45. There would have been like 1,000 or more people in front of me at that point in time. But most people, and for anyone who saw some of my social posts from the Geelong and Brisbane game, most of you saw I was sitting against the race. Like I had the most prime of positions to just, high five and chat to people, and, make eyes with Mark O'Connor, who clearly absolutely recognized me before the game. Or he just goes, what? Is that Hugh McCluggage sitting in the crowd? I'm going to try and take that prick out now. I don't know. Anyway, so like there's a whole bunch of unreserved stuff, but people flock to level 2 and 3 because of kind of it's if I can get the right spots there, I'm going to get the perfect view. Me, I wasn't here about the perfect view. I wanted to get right down there in the weeds and get the atmosphere. So it could have also been that, Shadu. Yeah. Why is that guy giving me a card that says Hoops Crew and, screaming, come on my show? No MCC flex in the first 10 minutes of the show is impossible. I waited. I mean, I was signed on at birth, but I waited, would have been 22 years to finally get my full membership. I can flex from time to time and then smash some caviar when I'm at the ground, as Ben will always say. But anyway, Dad and I will go to the game. We'll try and get in there. Like I'm going to really push him to try and get in there ASAP so we can try and, stake out some really good seats. They give you a seat ticket, allows you to leave the ground and come back when you're ready, which is also how it works grand final day, assuming you're a full member. Caviar and cucumber sandwiches, O'Connor, where are the police? I need a restraining order. I tried to just get him on the show. Basically grand final days, and obviously you see all the stories of people queuing up till, from 24 hours beforehand. 2022 to use as an example, but this has also been the case with previous. PJ, I'm giving MCC member. I'm an MCC member giving pirate software I used to work at Blizzard Energy. Smart ass. I'm happy to mix with the plebs, the unwashed masses, you people. I'm happy. Like I'll walk through the little fence that separates the haves from the have-nots and come and say hello. Be a man of the people, and then I'll walk back through my fence and leave you all on the other side of it. Anyway, continuing that on, grand final day is much the same. So like you hear these stories about people queuing up 24 hours early. The gates open at something like 7 a.m. on grand final day. Now, flashing back to 2022, I arrived with one of my mates who was using the guest pass at about 6 a.m. I think that day. We queued up. There would have been 5,000 or 6,000 people in front of us at least. But again, people flock to the level 2, level 3, bottom of level 4 spots for the most part. And so we walked down, like we got in 5,000 or 6,000 people in front of us, at least, I reckon. And we walked straight up to level 1 and we got a spot second row from the fence on between the wing and the half forward flank. It was the prime spot as far as I was concerned. We got an amazing view of everything. So there is a little bit of there's a priority thing. People seem to be preferring the view over the atmosphere. I'll choose the atmosphere every day of the week and sacrifice a little bit of the view. And I think that was also then very clear for people when I was commenting on the last game during post-game live, because I really didn't see Ollie Dempsey. He was on that far side of the wing. It was very hard to kind of get a bit of a sense for the type of game he was playing and just how important that game was against Brisbane. Upon the replay, became super obvious. So there's pros and cons. Scotty says, Paul James Show exclusive. I can reveal I will be tossing the coin before an elimination final in 2026. Hope it's Geelong because my Blues. Did you know that there is a secret walkway that takes the plebs to their areas? Jane, explain. Sorry, I'm gonna stop leaning into this plebs thing. I know someone dropped it in the first place. It was a bit of fun before. I'll stop leaning into the plebs. Darren says, I'm at M54. Come and say hello in the Jim Steins bar. I mean, I'm going to be there so early. I'll just ditch that at the seat and wander around and say hi to anyone. There should be, I think we could absolutely get like a meetup going pre-game as well. So once I get in, I might like suggest a location and people can like maybe from 5:30 or whatever it happens to be. And I'll pop out and we can all hang out and chat and talk about the game. And then I'll go in and have my caviar and you'll all, I don't know, go smash a dirty meat pie, and I love meat pie. Ugh. But let's do it. Real keen. All right. So that's the ticketing situation. The Cats are going to be wearing white shorts, apparently, according to Ben. He also, as probably I'm sure many of you have seen, I'm going to quickly find the tweet here because this is like some GWS shit-stirring kind of behavior. And I don't love when Ben goes down this path because it always ends badly for us. In fact, old mate Jace here is piled in response, but Ben says, Hawks be wearing their brown shorts. This makes sense that they're about to shit themselves. And I don't love that response. Like that really hurts. But Ben's a little bit worried because the bookmarks, like they're taking their receipts and this could blow up in his face. And I hate when he does this. I thought it was good, clearly, as you can see. But I hate when he does this shit. I really, really hate when he does this stuff. But Cats to wear white, Hawthorn to wear brown, and hopefully Ben is right, but he needs to dial this shit down. Paddy Dangerfield will be playing his 30th final in this matchup, which is a huge accomplishment. Obviously, he's been at a very successful Cats outfit, but even the Crows for a chunk of time before he left for the Cats also were competing in finals a little bit as well. So Darren says he told Ben to keep a lid on it. I'm extremely superstitious. So am I. Like he's got to stop. And also, I just don't want to be dealing with the consequences if he's gotten it wrong. Sarah says, what's this Chris Scott stuff about a female being upset? Double check. Sorry, we discussed this about 5 to 10 minutes ago, Sarah. So feel free to scrub back. I won't rewind back into it, but feel free to go and double check it. Even Nuff of the Week, which is missing some of today's context, but even Nuff of the Week will help you out in that regard as well. So consider checking that video out also. Ben is a middling guy anyway. He is a middling guy. Ben's Nuff of the Week if we lose. I just don't think I could do enough talking about it. But Ben's clearly hiding from us too. Get your ass in here and explain yourself. I would suggest, because I went live early, that Ben's maybe not ready. But I could be wrong. All right, so that's the short situation. Danger's 30th. The Cats, they've won their latest, as we touched on before, the Cats have won their latest AFLW matchup against the Tigers. I referenced that before. We'll quickly bring up the scores on screen momentarily. But they are now, after a 0-3 start, we're now 2-3 and back in pretty good shape. So here were your scores. The Cats getting the job done. Cats getting the job done. 4-5-29. Tigers against the Cats 8-11-59. Won by 30 points. There was also a few junk time goals to the Tigers at the end there just to narrow that margin a little bit. But we had well and truly put the Q in the rack. And a little bit of extra accuracy, and that margin would have been closer to 50 points as well. So for a bit of perspective on the ladder, after, again, a 0-3 start, we are now surging a little bit here. We're only one game out of the 8. The Bombers sitting in 8th, the team that we smacked around just last week. Our percentage is now starting to get close to parity once again, and I think some of these teams are a little bit gettable. Whether we are that top 4 team remains to be seen. Of course, we absolutely pushed the Swans, and then just kind of flubbed it in the last quarter. There's a little bit of work to be done, but we are absolutely back on the right track. And as Jackie highlights a Parry party, she was absolutely amazing, as was Georgie Prespakis, who was an absolute rock star. Ben says he's been trolled enough today. Don't start this shit for yourself, mate. Just don't start this shit for yourself. Scotty says he hopes Ben's well. I don't. I hope he's really feeling it for this stupidity on social media. He's got to stop. Because the last time when he did this GWS one, because I am the face of the Hoops crew, unfortunately for the Hoops crew, because I spend so much time on camera, lots of people started hitting me up. I didn't tweet that shit, but I copped it. Take some responsibility for your actions, Ben. Anyway, Cats currently sit 10th, only a game out of the 8, with plenty of time to sort it out as well. So hopefully, I'll quickly scroll back to the match center here so that we can then go back and we'll look at the run for the Cats going forward. Round 6. Oh, what? There we go. Let's try that again. There we go. Fixed. We've got the Power. We sit above them on the ladder. The Hawks are gettable. Carlton, a little bit overblown how they're going at the moment from all that I've seen. The Giants, the Eagles are gettable, the Dogs, and then the D's will be a tough one to wrap things up. But we've kind of dealt with some of the absolute top teams in those first 3 weeks. And now it gets a little bit softer from here. This is a chance to bank some wins and really get ourselves back into a contending spot. So keen to see it. Crows Girl, I think Luke's mum has popped in saying, "Hi everyone, Luke's still sick. Good luck, Geelong. All the best. And sorry for your Crows on the weekend." We really would have liked to have played against them considering how they've been going lately. Moving on before Luke's mum kills me. All right. 2026 memberships are on sale already. We haven't even gotten to the end of our 2025 campaign, but you can go and buy your membership for 2026. And if anyone has seen the AFL membership tallies for 2025, the Cats are up. Almost every other team in the competition is up. Save for a couple examples, the all-time membership record was broken once again this year. We'll quickly bring that one up on the screen. 1,363,437 members, with 1 in 20 Australians being a member of an AFL club now. And here is your membership ladder. The Pies reclaimed top spot, 112,000. The Eagles, that's just a phenomenal effort from the West Coast Eagles to be such a mediocre football club and still command 107,000 members is ridiculous. Carlton just ticking over 100, but it was a big drop for them. I think they shaved a good 5 or 6 million members. 5 or 6,000 members going into 2025. The Tigers, 92,000. Again, a massive credit to the Tigers fans. Though quite a few of them have dropped off since they've fallen off because they did hit 100K when they were winning premierships. So they're a bit fair weather. The Cats fans, well, they just keep piling on because we don't fall off. 92,000, that's a PB for the Cats. Any of the stars he represents, it's a PB for the different clubs. And really at this point, if you're not going up, if you're not having a PB, you are going backwards. Geelong, Hawthorn, 87,000. So no excuse to be outnumbered. We've got more members. That, of course, means more fans. Every single one of you needs to be there on Friday night. Shout out those Hawthorn supporters. Drown them. If you need to actually drown them, just drown them. Essendon went backwards. Adelaide, no, I can't remember if they went backwards or not. Adelaide, PB, Sydney PB, Brisbane PB, Port PB, Freo PB, Western Bulldogs, St Kilda PBs. Melbourne went backwards. They dropped about 10,000 members from what I recall. North Melbourne, GWS, and Gold Coast, all personal best club membership records. A fantastic effort from the Cats. And as Roaming's kind of alluded to there, we don't rebuild, we reload. And we go again, year after year after year. Geelong's the number 2 team. She loves Paddy. Good. A respectful Adelaide supporter who understands that he made a move for what was best for his family and his lifestyle and those sorts of things. And everything I hear is he looks back so fondly on his time at the Crows. Obviously, that last year was a bit of a challenge for him, but looks back so fondly on his time at the Crows. And he's an Adelaide legend just as much as he's a Geelong one. But hopefully, he'll be a Geelong Premiership captain nice and soon. So yeah, that is your membership tallies for this year. Geelong with a club record 92,379. State of Origin returns on Valentine's Day. Australia. It's kind of Australia versus Victoria. Victoria versus WA will be the matchup. And I know, Kiri, I know you're in there. South Australians, I'd imagine you're a little bit shirty, but let's not forget that you've got Gather Round. You've got a big celebration already. So let's not get too greedy here. WA gets the first crack at Victoria. And presumably, what would be cool is that, we maybe only have one matchup per year and it rolls around a little bit, but maybe there is a winner plays off against this team and stays on. And you can kind of have that sort of thing going, which would be really, really cool. Obviously, this is going to play out a bit like an NBA All-Star game where players are not going to want to get injured. It's February 14. It's getting close to the season's kickoff, so they're going to be taking it pretty easy. But it'd be a good one to see, all sorts of, combinations and permutations of players, both on the Victoria and Western Australian teams, matching up for, in many of these cases, the one and only time in their careers. So really looking forward to seeing that one play out. Scotty says, Darren, nearly every Hyundai and Bupa employee has a 2025 Carlton membership. I hate when they do this shit. Oh, okay, right. So there's a little bit of that number boosting. Thanks for that little bit of insight there, mate. Darren says, but that was in response to Darren saying, Scotty, $1 memberships don't count. Oh, Kiri's just dropped something. Hang on a minute. Let's just look into this one a little bit. Kiri's just said, my Port Adelaide mate just messaged me. Jimmy Bartell spotted at Alberton for the GM role at Port Adelaide. That would be an interesting one. Chat, let me know your thoughts. This just kind of popped up out of nowhere, but that would be a really fascinating one. Obviously, Jimmy's got a wonderful skill set. And has done some really great things through the AFL already, is really thriving in the media landscape, but has done some good things at club level as well. So good luck to him if he ends up working there. It'll be really good for the club. Now, again, share your thoughts, chat, on that particular thing. The VFL Best and Fairest is tonight, so stay tuned for some results there. The last thing I want to talk about, and I am going to do a dedicated video about this. Someone, I think it was Shadu, maybe it's Jackie, rightly said before that my planned short post-game live ended up going for 2.5 hours. I plan on making this a shortish show tonight. I do want to keep it to an hour. Because afterwards I want to quickly record a video that's dedicated to the Zach Merritt situation. And what's kind of going on there. Now, Ben has given me a note here that says Zach Merritt has West Victorian roots, Cobden. And I presume that's him then trying to, link us to Zach Merritt. But my thoughts, Jackie says, good luck with that. I am so lacking in discipline when it comes to these live shows. You all send me down, a different pathway that just sends me spiraling. And it all kind of falls apart. Someone will drop a $10 super chat and that guarantees another half hour. It's not good. It's not good. And that sentiment continues here. If someone drops $10, I'll give you an extra 15 minutes. I'm not going to $5 for an extra 15 minutes. That's all we're doing tonight. Because I do need to get in. I want to record this video about Zach Merritt. And I've got some Year 12 sacks to mark. And a wife that I actually want to spend some time with. Haven't done a lot of that lately. And with a basketball grand final Wednesday, parent-teacher interviews on Thursday, and me going to football on Friday, I need to get the brownie points. $5 gets 15 more minutes. That's it. Anyway, Zach Merritt. So the talk is... I'm leaving it alone. Amy says she'd laugh her ass off if we poached Merritt from Mitchell's hands. Now, that would be really fascinating, but we haven't, as of yet, heard Geelong linked to him. I'm sure they've had the conversation because any club that, with an ounce of self-respect is going to go engaging in talks. Who's going to football with me? My dad. Any club worth their salt is going to have the conversation, but Geelong's name hasn't emerged just yet. I'm sure it will in due course. But if we take things at face value right now and kind of explore that, okay, Zach Merritt looks like he's going to the Hawks thing. No way, Thomas. Aaron is on the money here. Save your cash for Zach Butters. We need to throw it in the kitty, Thomas, and get Zach Butters. But thank you for the super chat. We much appreciate it. And I'll toss an extra 20 minutes in there once we're done. Once I get through everything I was meant to get through, I'll give another 20 minutes. We'll go from there. Jesus. All right. Zach Merritt. So Geelong and Hawthorn have been linked to a lot of the same players throughout this season, from Harley Reid to Zach Butters, etc. There's been a lot of these players that have been linked to both clubs because both clubs are kind of chasing the same sorts of needs in their midfield right now. I don't know about all of you, but I'm not as wild about Zach Merritt as I am someone like Zach Butters. Now, we had that poll the other day where, if we could choose, who would you go with? And it was overwhelming. It was like 95% of you said Zach Butters. I'm firmly of the mind. How much of Zach Butters can you ask for? Can you get for $7.99? Asking for a friend. You might get a toe. That's about it. Probably about 4 and change. Flash says he'd rather Zach Merritt went to Footscray. Just continue to top up their midfield. But then not give them anything else. Make sure their back line is still shithouse and they don't go anywhere. And their forward line is flaky. Like Aaron Norton's had his first good season in 5 years, and so he's going to go back to being mediocre for a while now. Sam Darcy's going to have to do even more of the lifting next year. But Merritt going to the Hawks, assuming that occurs, assuming all the reporting so far, he's chatting with Hawthorn because they're already quite into one another, and that's what's going to happen. I am more than okay with this happening because going back to what we discussed on the show on Thursday night, and I just don't think the Hawks are in a position to go and get both. Geelong allegedly has this war chest that would allow us to get 2 big primo players. And I would rather take Zach Butters. So if Hawthorn wants to get Zach Merritt, get your big fish, be happy, top up your midfield. And then that leaves Zach Butters to us in a fight against the Dogs. I'll back us in against the Dogs. What have they done? Choked some grand finals. Obviously won in 2016, blew it in 2021. Can't compete in finals without making it the hardest possible journey of all time. And Keary's nailed the other half of the pitch. Get Hinkley to the Cattery, and he'll bring Zach Butters along as well. That's 100% a thing. And linking to another video that I want to make this week, which is about who replaces Stephen King. I do want to pose that Ken Hinkley is one of those people that should come across. I know he's been chatting to Sam Mitchell as well. But I think there could be something to that also. Apparently Hawthorn, St Kilda and Collingwood have been copying the Cats payment model, not overpaying, as more clubs should. And there is a reason why. I mean, St Kilda, obviously, I wouldn't believe St Kilda in this because look at what they've just done. I mean, Silvani's going to be like 900. You've got TDK at 1.7. You've just secured old mate Wanganeen Millera for $2 million a year. I don't know if St Kilda are showing the same level of discipline, but I follow what you mean. They're kind of underpaying their... They're underpaying kind of the smaller fish to create money in the budget for some of the big fish. So it's a really interesting one, what St Kilda's going through. But, the difference between the haves and have-nots is getting bigger and bigger there. So we'll see how that plays out. But again, I think this, like if Hawthorn goes and gets Merritt, they'll absolutely be stronger for it. But I think there's a win in this for Geelong. And then, of course, there's the conversation about, Curnow and the different clubs that hit Scotty. There's the conversation with Curnow and what clubs he's potentially interested in, whether Carlton ultimately plays ball. You've got Zach Butters in the conversation for next year and a range of others. So Geelong's got its targets, and I'm sure they will land someone big in the next couple of years. Scotty, tell me about Charlie Curnow and whether he's going to go to the Cats, the Suns, or the Swans, because he's going to go. He's going to go scorched earth, just like Zach Merritt is, I reckon. All right. It is time, at last, to shift to a level of match preview mode. This is obviously not the full shebang because we are, of course, missing some information. We don't have teams or any of that sort of thing, and we are still just shy of 4 days away from the game kicking off. But the Cats currently favourites, $1.54 favourites to the Hawks, $2.42. Oh, he's gone. Bye-bye. Not some of you boys weren't singing that tone when I came on your show a month and a half ago. Why is it different, Scotty? Genuinely. Why do you think? Why have things changed? What has changed about the situation other than he's walked in and said, "Look, I want to explore my options." Saints be like, take some money, just a bit, and then just throw them bank at him. Amazing stat, Shadu. There's a stat. Oh, hang on. SDK has never played in a losing final. This was brought to my attention today. SDK plays. No way, Kipper. I promised nothing about $20. I can't. Please tell me there's no catch. I'll answer your question. I'll have a good time with it. Please tell me there was no catch to that $20 because I didn't commit to anything for $20. That would be another hour. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So let's answer that question now because we are in match preview mode, and it's a good time to discuss this. So, and thank you for the compliment around the content too. So, Ninja Turtles undies. I don't have Ninja Turtles undies. I don't even have the shirt here. I've got the little toy that Ben sent me, and his little pizza. His little nunchucks are broken. My wife did have me booked, and I really pushed to get the stream going early because she's gone to the gym, so she'll get home in about 10 minutes, and was probably hoping that I'd be done, 10, 15 minutes later. And then Kipper goes and starts stirring shit up by throwing $20 at me. And that's off the back of Thomas. Oh, you're all wonderful people. No, we really appreciate it, though. It's huge. Much appreciated. $100 for 2 hours. Not now. Not tonight. If someone was to do that, Thomas, you or anyone else, if someone did that, there would be an IOU. In fact, how about this? If $100 comes in, I'll do a bonus stream somewhere along the way. I will not extend tonight's show any further, but if $100 came in, I would do a bonus stream. I know. Should do. Roaming says my favorite moment of the year was Paul leaking his address on the package. Consider what Ben say? $2,000 if the Cats win the grand final with a goal after the siren. If someone commits to that, or is that what someone already committed? Like someone offered like $2,000 for something. I can't remember what it was. Have I gone mute? Oh no, sorry. You caught me on a technical hiccup there, Jackie. Flash says text your wife, add another hour on the cross trainer machine. Kerry was the one that offered $2,000 for something. If $100 comes in, I'll do a bonus stream. But let's not get carried away. Anyway, let's get back to the preview for now. So because I did see, we need Kerry. He loves throwing the cash. Kerry does throw big offers for cash around. It's kind of wild actually. Kerry, you're too cashed up. Bonus stream if we get 100, and I'll do it. I don't know. I can't do it tomorrow. I cannot do anything tomorrow. Tomorrow is the one night where I just need to go in, spend time with my wife, and enjoy. Because Wednesday she's out for dinner and I'm playing a basketball grand final. Thursday parent-teacher. Friday the football. Yeah, that's right. Kerry promised $2,000 if we win the flag. That's wild. Beers are on us. All right, let's focus on the preview here. So Kerry eats caviars and cucumber on toast for breakfast. Gary's loaded as well. People we're not we're very happy. Thank you to everyone who donates. We do have donates. Sorry, not donuts. Who donates? We really appreciate it. But oh my god, your views, your engagement. Post-game live, post-stream love for $100. So sorry, you're saying after Ben's done with post-game live, then I go live? Is that what you're trying to suggest, Roaming? So when Ben wraps up the stream at 1 a.m., then I come on. Am I understanding that right? Holy shit. You just said yeah. I'm not going to start a stream at 1 a.m. I can't. That could be another 2.5 hours. It'll be 3:30 in the morning. But if $100 comes in, I'll definitely do another stream. Post game only fans for 100. Now you're setting my price too low. Chat, how much would you sell yourself for? If we win the flag, it's an all-nighter. Committed. Ben can kick off post-game live. I'll come home from the game, I hope. When I say I hope, it's because I don't know if I'm going to go to the game. That's still a conversation for me and my wife, considering it's my daughter's birthday on grand final day. Turns out having sex in January is a bad idea, or late December is a bad idea. And we learned nothing from my son being born, his birthday being 2 days before my daughter's, or 2 days and 2 years before my. Yeah, anyway, learned nothing from it. But anyway, how much would right now, I'm not going anywhere near it because I am still in the throes of applying for a different job. I'm not going shit. There's limits to the stupidity I do. Bussy says summer loving, having a blast. All right, hang on. Preview, damn it. All right, so some of you. I just nearly knocked a whippersnipper over. All right. Preview. Let's talk about Cats and Hawks. The question got asked before about who comes in, who comes out. And I saw Mitch Nevitt's name being kicked around, of course. George's name got put out there. This is where, and Roaming, I hope you're with me here. Jed Buse. Bring in Jed, please. I'm easily distracted and I blame you guys. I do, because you create the distraction. But then I smack the table too much and I knocked the whippersnipper over. Shadu says he raised his voice at us. Can't take these violent Geelong. Shit. Scotty. No. How many minutes has gone by since Paul laid down the time ultimatum? I haven't gotten to the end of the preview, so we've got 20 minutes beyond that. There's justice for Jed. Justice for Jed. Ben says, though, grand final breakfast, 3-hour stream. If the Cats make the grand final, I'll make bacon and eggs for everyone. Don't know how you plan to do that, but Ben will eat it in front of everyone, I'm sure. But that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. In fact, Ben, how's this? I'm thinking on the fly here. You can do your grand final breakfast thing, and then I'll get post game. I'll take it. You'd have to get post game live going, but then once I jump in, I'll take on the reins, and the stream can just go for as long as it goes at that point. It may end just at a point where we're full screen and I'm catching some Z's in the chair, but that's fine. This thing reclines. Not easily. It's not really made for that. But Aaron says, oh my God, Thomas. I've got the 20 minutes. The 20 minutes is there. And anything from this point goes into the kitty for an extended stream next time around. Oh no, Sarah's got to work grand final day. That's unfortunate. I have lived that life myself. I missed the 09 grand final. Wasn't able to go because the employees at the pizza shop that I worked at, they were St Kilda supporters. It was a family-run business, so they all went off. They needed me to stay and work the shop as a result. Fair to say they were pretty quick to send me home. Once they got back to take over the reins at the shop after they'd lost in 09, and they walked in and saw my shit-eating grin with a Geelong scarf around my neck, they were pretty happy to send me home for the night. And then the party started. It's good. It's real good. It was rough. It wasn't some sort of let's keep Paul out of it thing. It was just like, it's our business. We want to keep it open. They're within their rights to do that. Sorry, this is just in response to Kiri being that it's criminal. And like, I was the kind of the next top dog after the family themselves, so they needed me to run the shop. So I did. It's just a shame that I missed the most climactic of all the grand finals that we've won. So, but anyway, I've been present for Geelong to win 3 grand finals. I've been present for 1 loss, and I've missed 2. Obviously, one being the COVID ones, which doesn't count. It's just got a star next to it. And so sorry, thank you, Thomas, for the extra $3 there. Factual Opinion says, give me your grand final tickets. Geelong are playing. I'm yours for the day. T's and C's apply. That's graphic. Only for 3 hours because I marked myself out without permission. I'm a beauty therapist and I marked myself out for most of it. Boss better not question me. I mean, look, they can see through it. Like, and you know, to kind of talk about my situation, not grand final day, but like, I get invites to go to Nintendo or to go to games events or whatever it happens to be. Nintendo's based in Scoresby, so sometimes I'll just, you know, take a few hours and I'll go to Scoresby, and the school just, and we kind of discussed a lot of time away from work and those sorts of things in the Discord earlier today, funnily enough. But I'll just disappear for like 4 hours, mark myself out for that time, and they all know what I'm doing. They don't care because I've kind of been threatening that I'll just up and leave, or what are you going to... There's been a little bit of a what are you going to do, fire me thing, because I've had the best results in the school now for the entire time I've worked at the place when it comes to the Year 12 stuff. So they're not just... There's just kind of nothing they can do. And so I'm kind of starting to throw my status around a little bit. But anyway. No one counts the COVID Cup. Whereas the basketball grand final on Wednesday, get the hoops community to turn up en masse. All right. If people want to make a trip to Sunbury, Boardman Stadium in Sunbury, 7:30 p.m, Court 2 is where I'm going to be. If someone's actually in the area. If someone actually rocks up, holy shit. Brendan will rock up with one of the with the kids in one of the posters. Shadu says, print his face out and glue it to your shirts. The Sunbury. Lots of my family live there. No! Brandon says, I used to play there. Oh my God. Yeah, it's not a bad competition, actually. But yeah. 7:30 Tuesday. Should have said en masse to get a reaction out of Paul. Cam Guthrie might drop by. He might also have other plans, but Newcomb is a role. Do the Gisborne Bulldogs still play there? That's who I'm playing for. So I play for the Gisborne Bulldogs. All right. So when it comes to the Hawks and the Cats game, that thing we're here to discuss, that you're all prolonging so that we don't get to the 20 minutes, like I don't start the 20 minutes yet. So I'm doing the preview now. I'm ignoring all of you for a while. Hide chat. Hide panel. Suckers. I'm going to look at this thing and it's going to give me a notification for 2,000 comments. All right, so Cats and Hawks. The ins and outs. Someone said then, I'm sorry, I've lost the comment now. I pinned it and then we got distracted. The disrespect potentially it shows Jai Clark if they drop him. I mean, I get it, but he is in that fringe sort of spot. I think there's a lot that hinges around Reece Stanley, of course. If Reece Stanley ends up coming up fit and healthy, then that's going to create a squeeze and Jai Clark will fall out in that scenario. If Reece Stanley remains out, which I think is probably the most likely scenario, of course, we'll see Mark Blitzarves in the ruck and he'll have to deal with old mate. But from there, in terms of who is the sub or who's that 23rd player, I mean, it's Jed. I desperately just want to see Jed. I just think the likes of Ginnivan, and assuming Ginnivan's hamstring's okay, I might add, but assuming Ginnivan and the Wizards, they're both there, I would like to see Jed Buse lock one of them down. Honestly, it's as simple as that. So that's the big change for me. In terms of the result, give me the Cats by... I know this won't work out because it's a Geelong and Hawthorn game, so it'll be tighter than we all think or want it to be, but give me the Cats by 23 points. 23 being the key number there with all the prominent Cats people. Now I've just flicked over to the comments. The Paul James, no way. All the lights, Paul James. I still got my red short. Oh wait, so Brendan, you actually played for Gisborne? Were you a Gisborne local? Tell me about your history. I've now flicked back to the chat. And in the meantime, Shadu saying Ben would never do this. Come back, Paul James. There's more of those. Did someone say hamstring? Stanley won't play. Can't be. Scotty, we're talking about Stanley's hamstring, not Max Holmes. O'Sheen to Newcomb. Let's talk about the O'Sheen situation because I've spoken a little bit about this. I feel like I've let you out of timeout now, Jackie. I feel like he's not the biggest threat in the world, but I wouldn't mind. Like, I want to see Tom Atkins go to Jai Newcomb. He's got the defensive chops. And I think they can just duke it out. And O'Sheen can go and squash someone like a Ward or go and play defensive and go and squash a Ginnivan or a Wizard or something like that. Probably Ginnivan. The Wiz just has that little bit of extra spice and spark about the way he plays. What about Gunston? Gunston, I feel like, it's Jack Henry's job. Now, we've just finished so Cats, as I said, 23 points. Who will Danger go on? It's more who's going to go on Danger, and no one can stop that prick. But he might find himself, I feel like he could find himself on Sicily a bit, as Danger's going to kind of play that third tall role for a good chunk of it. So I think that's kind of how that one's going to net out. Preview mode done. Q&A on. 20 minutes we've got on the clock. Finished. And then I owe a bunch of time for all of these ridiculous donations that have come in from some incredibly generous people. You're all nuts, by the way. Kipper just dropped that money, and I don't think has commented since. Yeah, no, Kipper's just not donated since. Danger to start in the middle exactly, once again. I think that's going to be a great start. O'Sheen will shut down Newcomb. Big Stick Combat says. Not a local, but my mate Ryan. Sorry, his name's Ryan Power. Could he get an official name change to Max? Max Power. Roaming's gonna donate some money now as well. Again, we're not extending the stream beyond these 20 minutes, but I will add the time into my next stream if need be. Because right now we've got this. Hang on, what have we gotten so far? So I promised 20 minutes, I think, for the $3 or whatever that came in. And since then we've had another, for the $8 that came in. So we've now since then had another 20, 41 and $44 that have come in since. Now, what did we say the other night? It was $10 for 30 minutes. So we've just added another 2.5 hours. I think I need to up my prices. This is getting wild. O'Connor to Weddle. If he plays forward, but the thing is, Weddle's been playing forward. So I don't really know what to do in that particular regard. I feel like that's probably a Brad Close job. Oh, yeah, and Campbell kind of asked that question. O'Connor to Weddle, who do we put on Weddle? I'm kind of of the mind that Brad Close actually plays off him because Brad Close is very accountable. He can get you the other way and he's very dangerous, but he'll run all day. He'll commit himself to the team. And I think will do a fantastic job playing off him, but also being really accountable to him. Now, before we go any further, as more questions start to roll in, I don't want to let this one get away from me because I will absolutely forget with the chaos that this stream has been so far tonight. Before we go any further, let's take a word from our sponsor, Cyril Cook Florist. And please, if you haven't already, drop the flower emojis, please.
The Hoops Crew Media Network is proudly sponsored by Cyril Cook Florist. Visit them at shop 1211 Leather Street in Breakwater. Phone them on 035 222 2244 or visit their website at www.cyrilcookflorist.com.au and use the offer code GOCATS in the voucher field at checkout to get 20% off your next online purchase.
Thank you, Cyril Cook Florist, as always, for your ongoing support of the Hoops Crew and all we get up to. Oh no, Kipper. I told people I'm not adding. Oh my God. I got to up my rate. It can't be $10 an hour if this shit's going to keep up. I already owe you all an extra 5 hours now based on this. I'm getting divorced. You better give me more money. I'm going to need to pay for this thing. Jackie. So what you're saying, Kipper, you need Paul to keep you entertained whilst this is working. I'm going to up my prices, and then Kipper's going to be paying more to keep me streaming than Kipper's going to be getting per hour for the employment. Paul's wife might as well go to sleep. I told you. So we're down. We've got game of the show, which we'll do in a second. It's not going to be a game this time. We've got game of the show. And at this point, there's 15 minutes worth of the extra paid for time. And then we'll just add, oh my God, there's a 5-hour stream coming. Paul's in the doghouse tonight. No, I'm not going to be. I'm sticking to my guns. I'm sticking to my guns. Doors will be locked, yeah. So you're thinking Geelong will win easily. 23 points, I would say no. I just... it's going to be a hard-fought thing. I just think there might be a few at the end. Question, does the locked door has been said. You need to keep Brownie points for the grand final, Paul. Don't push it too far. I do. So don't do this to me, people. I'm trying to go to the grand final. Should we get through this week? Touch wood. I want to be able to go to the grand final. Please stop donating money and costing me opportunities to go to the grand final. My chance of going to the grand final. Anyway, thank you, Sparlock. Kobe asks, can I ask your thoughts on Zach Guthrie going to Watson and how you think that matchup could play out? So while that's not necessarily the matchup I'm expecting to eventuate, especially if I get my way and Jed plays, if that's the case, Shadoo's just dropping please make sure to subscribe and join our Discord. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed and checked out our content and joined the Discord lately. Community's really bursting at the moment. My God, the wind out here is nuts. I'm feeling it coming under the doors and through the shed roller doors and all sorts at the moment. This is intense. But Zach Guthrie going to Watson. So if that were to play out, look, I don't think it's a bad matchup, to be honest. 72 out of 100. I don't think we're that far along. We got 8 from Thomas in the first place. We then got 20 from Kipper. That's 28. Nearly had a moment then. 49 with Shadoo. Another 3 from Thomas. That's 52. And then the 10 from Kipper again. We're at $62. My God, this is... Oh, no. We're at 65. 65. We're at 65. I think you've counted an extra 10 in there somewhere, roaming. But anyway, I can't. I don't have my guest pass anymore. Anyway. Fuck me. All right. I don't know if Zach Guthrie is the matchup that will eventuate, but I actually don't think it's a bad one. He's got the wheels to go with someone like the Wiz. Also, welcome aboard too. I do think this is maybe the first time that you've popped in the stream, or at least commented in the stream before. So welcome aboard. Keen to hear your thoughts now and going forward. But I think that could be a successful matchup for the Cats. To be honest, he's got the wheels to go with him. His defensive game is at its absolute best right now. But then if the ball gets aerial, like if it's an aerial ball, it's not a ground ball. No. I can see a little thing has just appeared at the top. I've rewound back further through the comments, but Jackie, I think you've done something. You're all the worst. If I'm right. I'm just gonna scroll down. Oh no. You just 68. Thomas dropped 3. Jackie dropped another 20. That puts us to 88. Then Shadu drops 35. What did I promise for $100 in the end? What did I actually say for $100? Was it a hot? I'm not doing it tonight. And $8 from. Roaming's trying to set a new goal of $200. What are we even working towards now? I think the matchup for Zach Guthrie could work out pretty well. Oh my God. I didn't promise a belly dance, Ben. I'm already in the dog. I'll definitely have. I'm promising an extra stream. I'm promising an extra stream. That's the starting point. And then how long that goes remains to be seen. But I'm definitely promising an extra stream. Yeah. All right. I think I'm going to kick the game of the show because it's going to make me. This is all going to make me cry in a second. Introducing the Super Mario Brothers movie. That's the Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie. It's going to be fucking awesome. And it comes out in April next year. You're all insane. In the meantime, Glenn dropped another $10. Flash dropped $5.55, a very specific amount. I need Lionel Hutz as the divorce lawyer. Can he get Lionel Hoops? Roaming says it's 168 out of $200. I don't even know anymore. I am going to have to scroll back and work this out now. And I don't even know, $100 got us one stream. Does $200 then take us to? Does $200 then take us to a second stream? What do we even do? There's 10 minutes left of this one though, and then I'm just owing you all streams, which is just wild. So $8 to begin with, $28, $49. 52. All this, and I kicked you all out for a little while. 62. 65. 68. 88. 123. 130. 145. 155. 165. 170 and 55 cents, 175 and 55 cents, 190 and 55 cents, and oh my God. We're going to hit $200, and I just don't even know what's going to, treat him mean. Can I give you money? I threw you all in the doghouse. I hid the comments for a while. Roaming says I'm done as the accountant of the Hoops crew. Yeah, we don't I'm the maths teacher, mate. Leave it to me. We're at $190.55. $190.55, Thomas, is where we're at. You're all. We haven't even won we haven't even won the final yet. We're not even throwing excited money. We're throwing nervous money around. Kiri's dropped another $8. That takes us to $199.55. Who wants to drop 45 cents in there? Oh, no, sorry, $1.45. Oh, damn it, I've lost count. What did I say? It's like 190 and 55. So he's dropped 8. So yeah, sorry, we need $1.45. And that gets to $200. I still don't know what we're doing. I don't even know what I promised for for $100, let alone $200. Get the rig out for a bit. You get a little peek. No more. Oh, did I forget to one about? Oh, okay. It takes a while. You've got to scroll through this. How nervous are you in this game? How nervous am I? I'm nervous that more money's going to come in because I don't know what the stakes are going to get out of control. Dude, what's the truffle shuffle? But how nervous am I in this game? It's like a 10 out of 10 for me, Ken. I think for the most part, so I'm trying to separate. I'm trying to separate the. It says the old truffle shuffle. I don't actually know what the truffle shuffle is. What am I missing here? Anyway, I'm gonna have to Google what the truffle shuffle is, and then we're gonna get to Ken's question. What is the truffle shuffle? Oh my god, the truffle shuffle. Ah, shit. I mean, really, that's just dodgeball milkshake, right? Ah, Lordy. I can be chunk. I haven't thought about the Goonies in a long time. If we get $250, roaming says we can get the Hoops Crew. All right, so sorry, Ken's question. For me, it's like a 10. And for the most part, in terms of if I just look at the two teams, the Cats and the Hawks, I think we should win this. As I said, 23 points. That's what should happen. We are at least a 4-goal better team than the Hawks, I think. But then it's all of this history. It's 2008's grand final. It's 2013's prelim. It's been when there's been a knockout grand final, be it a grand final or prelim or something sooner. We've lost. When was the Isaac Smith one? That was a qualifying too, wasn't it? That was a qualifying? It wasn't a semi, was it? Yeah, that was a qualifying final. So is Ben getting any of this? I know, roaming, you'll hope that's not the case. Ben will try and take his cut, but Ben better forward all this onto me. As I said, what did I call myself before? I called myself the face of the Hoops Crew. Hopefully not knowing what that is means we are young. Yeah, Sarah, I'm going to lean into that. I am aware now of the content, but that's such a deeply buried thing. I just had no idea. So I've got now the reminder of the truffle shuffle from the Goonies. Smith missing was the 2016 qualifying final. All of it roaming. I'm the accountant. Yeah, roaming's Mighty Sparlock has now kind of come clean that well, Sparlock, I'll leave you to 100% confirm it in the status in the chat, but you've kind of spilt the beans through some other commentary around the traps, so I'll leave you to announce that one. But Sparlock does mind the finances and keep an eye on things on behalf of the Hoops Crew for reasons that I'm sure will be made clear momentarily. Horatio says we've only ever lost 12 games by 100 points, and I don't expect that we'll lose another one by 100 points. 5 of them are against Hawthorn. Oh, gross. 10% for Ben. Ben doesn't deserve that. The only team to ever kick 200 points against us, Hawthorn. Our biggest loss, Hawthorn. This fucking team. Who's going to Mark Blitzhouse? And then I think oh my God. We're meant to end the show in 5 minutes. If it gets a 300, I'll vomit. Assistant to the regional manager. Sarasho. Yeah, I think it'll be Blitzars, but then when Lloyd Meek goes forward, I'd imagine that's where Blitzars might go to like a gut. Like I think there'll be a bit of a shuffling of the pieces, but also because Lloyd Meek is this big plotter, he kind of wanders through. Paul can buy that microphone if you forward me the money, you arsehole. No, I'm going to need to get I need to get a microphone and a mixing station if that's the case. So Blitzars will deal with the ruck, but then if Meek floats forward, DeConing I think will go to him, and then Blitzars just kind of shuffles into a defensive role. Jez is popping in for the first time tonight, and mate, you have missed a wild time. The road to 1K. We've had $220 donated via Super Chats tonight, and I don't really understand how or why. So you've missed a time, Jezza. But Jez is a 10 on the nervous scale as well. Paul's not going anywhere. He wouldn't leave money on the table. I am leaving money on the table. The stream is meant to end in about 3 or 4 minutes from now, and we are going to wrap it up in 3 or 4 minutes from now. So throw some last minute questions at me. I do want to keep things contained. I have now promised an additional stream. I don't know what that stream is going to be. Ben's a 3 on the nervous scale. That's probably why you're shit talking on Twitter. But it's, Ben's a middling person. Mitch never had a chance to get a game. Sarah's an 11. Yeah, it's fair. More money than subs. But a 10 on the cocky arrogant scale. Mitch Nevitt is a chance, I reckon. I'm not saying no more money. I'm just saying no more minutes added tonight. If people donate, people donate. I'm not going to say no to money. My financials are shit ass at the moment, and stuff like silly moments and nights like we've had tonight. Absolutely. And I mean this like very genuinely now. I'm trying to change my tone. I'm just trying to dial it all back for a second because I do want to make sure I'm crystal clear, genuine here. This has been ridiculous. I don't understand what's going on. And I definitely will commit to an extra stream at some point that we'll have to work out. But from the very bottom of my heart, thank you to every single one of you who's making donations like this. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that my finances are a bit shit these days. That's just the cost of living. But then the thing is, I know that for a lot of you, things are a little bit tough as well. So for you to do what you do here, it's absolutely huge. And I really, really appreciate it. And I can't stress that enough. And hopefully all the smiles and jokes about, more money and that sort of thing. Hopefully I hope that people understand I'm being really sincere here. I really appreciate it. 2 a.m. stream. We might have to at some point. All right. Any final questions? I might have even scrolled. Oh, I saw one about Ollie Henry. I feel like there's a chance there could be a sneak Ollie Henry. That's in response to Chris Edwards' question, which was Ollie Henry sub, proven finals performer. Jack Martin can go back or mid if required. I like the idea of Ollie Henry as well, but I don't see how I get my beloved Jed Buse in and Ollie Henry at the same time. But I think it would be... I think if Ollie Henry actually gets a game, then I think that's a strong sign that Danger is going to be spending more time in the midfield in this game. I would say. Just based on kind of how things have worked out when Danger and Ollie and others have been in the forward line this year, I would say if that's the case, Danger goes more to the midfield. But I really, really want Jed. Fred says, Geelong has had too many match-winning options around the ground and in the midfield. We also had the luxury of possessing players to shut down Newcomb and Warple. It's true. Sarah says, who do we want to win from? Oh, from Pies and Lions. I mean, if we're talking about our chances to win a grand final, I'd probably rather... I'd rather play the Pies, I think. I think I'd rather play the Pies. But I don't say with the greatest conviction in the world. The Lions are a bit depleted, and so that there's certainly positive. Actually, no, the Lions are so depleted. Give me the Lions. No, I want to play the Lions, I think. I think they might have just played their grand final. They might have just played their grand final against Gold Coast. But I think, as Bussy says, I think we can beat both. But yeah, I think if I'm talking about the greatest chance to win right now, I actually think, yeah, I'll walk back what I said. Give me the Lions. I think I will. Ben, can you forward me the money as soon as it comes through? Or an advance? Give me an advance here. Daniel Nelson says, just put Horatio on. I'll listen to him all night. Horatio is fantastic. I absolutely love having Horatio on post-game. And we don't get to do this very often because most of my stuff is just me and you guys through the chat. But Horatio has been fantastic every time we get to chat on post-game live. And certainly if any stream that I commit to will absolutely get the live chat going as well. I'll share the link and people can jump in. Accountant says no. Okay, boss. I want them both to lose. Well, we can't have that. All right. Dropping some blue and white. And on that note, I'm sticking to my guns. I've already given you an extra 2.5 minutes more than I promised. That's where we're going to wrap things up for the Paul James Show tonight. The loosest, most ridiculous, off-topic Paul James Show we've had so far. Again, as I said before, thank you to every single one of you who's donated tonight. And then all of you who've just watched as well. It's huge. It means a hell of a lot. The support financially, but also just for those of you who sit and watch and listen. It's a real privilege to get to do this and have an audience that actually cares and wants to listen and wants to engage. So, basketball post-game live. You know what? Yeah. Now, if I win, I don't know if I'm going out for $10 for every hour. Fuck off, Ben. The stream will never end. Go check it out, Jezza. Like, it's been a wild night, mate. I quite like your idea here, Brendan. If we win, I might be a little bit inebriated. I might have gone to the pub and celebrate a little bit, and then we'll just jump on live. But I like this. Roaming says every $100 became an hour. Just another 5. Kind words. Thank you, mate. What was I saying? Yeah, it might depend on the win-loss situation, but yeah, let's do the follow-up stream on Wednesday night. I'm already in the doghouse with my wife. She's going to be out for dinner anyway. She might be back by the time I get back. It depends. But yeah, let's do that live from the pub. Maybe we'll start it at the pub, and I'll do it from my phone, and then I'll keep the phone going, and I'll mount it in my little dock here. And then I'll get myself going on the computer, and then I'll get myself out of the phone, and we'll keep on going. That could be a good time. The reception between Gisborne and Sunbury is shit ass though, so I may well lose connection along the way. So we'll see. But hang on, Bianca wants to show off her BNF medal anyway. She hasn't taken it off. Brendan, is Bianca there with you right now? This will keep us going for a couple minutes, and you can thank Horatio for that because he's just donated $5. I'll quickly lean into this now. Is Bianca with you right now? Has she got the medal right now, or is she still up, or has she gone to bed? Because yes, this is an invite to get Bianca on right now. Oh, now she's at swimming. Okay, so we'll definitely get that medal. We'll need to celebrate Bianca. Bianca is the best of us. Like every good quality that we've all got, that's encompassed in your daughter, Brendan. Looking forward to having her on and seeing that medal nice and soon. let's talk about this stream Wednesday night. We'll continue to flesh it out and work out exactly what it's going to look like. Ben, you've got the job right now of pulling together a thumbnail for whatever this stream is going to be on Wednesday night. And we'll get into it. But thank you all for having watched tonight. Thank you all who've donated. It is absolutely insane what you've all done, but I really, really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this, please make sure, if you haven't already, to like this video, subscribe to the Hoops Crew on YouTube, check out all of our content, not just the random Paul James Show episodes, not just post-game live. Don't forget to go check out what the chaps are doing. They're going to have an episode that'll go up tomorrow. Ben says final $50 donation. Good Lord, don't do that. Someone's going to do it just to make me squirm at this point. You're like donating money and extracting pain, creating pain for me at the same time. But yeah, check out the chaps episode that will go live tomorrow. There'll be a Wednesday night stream, most likely now. We've got the preview episode of the Paul James Show that will go live on Thursday. That will be hosted by Ben. Do not donate that man a single cent. Give him nothing. Don't even give him your views. No. Watch the show. Ben does a great job. Thomas is thinking about it. Oh, no. Sarah says 9:30 will be okay, Paul. I had plans. 9:30 starts pushing the luck. Anyway, with that image. If you enjoyed it, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/thehoopscrew, where there's early access, extended, and exclusive content there for you to enjoy. $5 a month gets you all of that content, and there's a 7-day free trial period there for you as well. Once your wife sees what you made tonight, see you in 10. She'll send me straight back out here to try and make some more money. Where are we? Yeah, check all of it out. Thank you, Sarah. Check out all the stuff there. Again, like a lot of you have thrown money tonight, but if you've got some of that money and you're not a patron of the Hoops Crew, there's so much awesome stuff there that the chaps in particular are doing. So please consider checking out the Patreon rather than throwing it at me for silly, stupid reasons like we have tonight. Throw it at the Patreon. It's $5 a month. It's a much cheaper ask than whatever tonight was. And you'll get a lot of awesome extra content as well to consume. So consider that one as well. You'll find me at Paul James Games. That's on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram. The Hoops Crew you'll find at the Hoops Crew. And until next time, remain Geelong strong. Thanks a lot for watching. And I'll see you soon. Wednesday night, I guess, right?